Yo, what's good, Discord? So this is going to be a quick video about risk rewards, bias, and trade probability. It's um it's connected with each other. It has to do something with each other anyway. So yeah, let's get straight into bias, because I've been asked about it a lot, and I think it's just talked too much about because it's not that deep. So to answer your question about daily bias, go on the daily time frame. It's self-explaining what bias it is. Some people just make it too complicated and think you need some crazy research to find out your bias. No, you don't need. Even in the Road to Glory day one, I explained how to like kind of identify price action trends and where price is going. So as you can see, it's just so obvious that we're going downwards right now, and we have a downtrend. We are bearish on the daily, but I don't really believe in like trends because they could just change. So a lot of people say, when I was watching bootcamp back then, TJR said that the bias shifts when it closes, when it breaks structure. So the break of structure on this would be closing above this, right? Because when price closes above this, it broken structure to the upside, and then it would be buying, then it would be bullish bias. But that is just unnecessary stuff. You don't need it. You just need to you just need your two eyes. It could also work with one eye. You you just want to see what is going on the chart. Daily bearish. Does that affect you on your 1 minute little time frame? No. Why? Just look at it. Just look that there's so many up moves still which you could have taken. For example, this one, or even higher, like even bigger, or this. I could do this all day, because daily bias does not affect you as a scalper. Get that in your mind. Bro, you're on the 1 minute, and the daily is, oh, let me just use my calculator real quick. So 1 minute is 60 times 1 minute, 60 times is 1 hour. Okay, and 1 hour 24 times is daily. Oh, bro, my math is not mathing right now. But what I wanted to say is the difference, and yeah, it's just too big. 1 minute has nothing to do with the daily at all. So yeah, just leave it. Daily bias, you don't need it. What you do need, what you need to be aware of is 50-minute bias. Now you can see this news. So 50-minute, we're looking for 50-minute sweeps, or like sweeps in 5, 15, 30. And what you just want to make sure is it's not that deep. First of all, you just want to make sure that it lowers your probability to win a trade if you trade against the bias. Does that mean you cannot take a trade when you're too bearish? You cannot take a long? It doesn't mean that. No, it's not. You can, as you can see, we had a selling pressure. That's not really bearish, but it was just selling pressure. And what the people, but I still took a long. But what they what they call bullish and bearish is looking at the trend. Let's just look at the trend, okay? Let's just in between this, okay? Price going down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And I don't know, why would you only take shorts in that move when you also have up moves in there? Of course, catching a short and that would be better because the short moves are bigger, but that doesn't mean you cannot catch up moves, because you don't need a that big up move, you know, because we're zooming into that. We're just one candle maybe of that. You can see that these up moves are very big, but we are just a small thing of these moves anyways. So does that make sense? So that means you can take trades against your bias, if that's what you mean with bias, but it just lowers your probability of winning it, because when there's too much pressure, but that what I just showed you, this is just not even this is not even what I would say against bias. What I would say is I also told it in the PDF, you don't want to trade against pressure. So as you can see, let's say this whole down move, okay? This down move, it's not a good idea to long this because it's so much pressure. This is not bias, but this is not bias or like a trend, but it's bearish and selling pressure, you know? Longing this because let's say it sweeps this, longing this, trying to catch this move would be risky as fuck because you have so much selling pressure. You see the difference between this bias hole and this pressure? That's real trading. You don't need overall bias to take trades. So you would, because maybe it even works, okay? Maybe you can even, I didn't say you can't, but you don't need, because it's unnecessarily and overcomplicated. And you see what I'm doing and the difference between the things they are doing. They're teaching some overcomplicated and unnecessary things, which might even work a bit or sometimes, but you'll miss real moves, which we are taking. We are taking real moves, and like, you know what I'm saying? You would miss so much. Let's say I've in the last 4 weeks or 5 weeks, I would have only taken trades with 50-minute bias, like real bias with the trend. I would have missed so many wins. Yeah, sure, I would have missed short losses as well, which would be good, but I'm ready to risk these losses because I know I need the wins. So yeah, that's kind of aligning with probability. And yeah, that was kind of it with the bias. So as I said, just as a conclusion, you can take a trade against bias. As you can see on this, I'm gonna get to it in a bit, but you can see selling pressure, but I entered with a lot of confirmation and I didn't define this as a sweep on the 50-minute. I defined it on the 30 and 45-minute. So this was still good sweep on higher time frame, and I waited for good confirmation on the 1 minute. And yeah, so the probability was just like it was balanced, you know. So yeah, let's get to trade probability.